Hello everybody, welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. And we will start with our first participant, which is Felicia Chan.
Good evening, Ajahn. My practice so far so good. Every time I meditate, the mind easily shut down and enter into emptiness with clear awareness and peace condition. I don't have any question at the moment. Ajahn, may I know, is it anything I should take note for my practice? Thank you.
Just take note of your mind. Make sure you stay calm all the time.
Okay.
Take note whether you have greed, hate, or delusion or not. Okay.
Okay, Doctor. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next, Kwan Liman from Malaysia.
Ajahn, when we contemplate on the body, we can use the two parts. How about when we contemplate on the four elements? What can we focus on?
Well, the body have the water element, it has earth element. You can, anything that is hard, solid is called earth element. Like your hair, your skin, your teeth, your nail, these are earth element. While the fluid part of your body is the water element. Like your blood, your sweat, and things like that. And on the liquid in your body is considered to be the water element. And the wind element is the air that you breathe in and breathe out. The air that goes through your whole body, through the cell carrying them. And the fire element is the warmth of your body. A living body is warmer than a dead body. A dead body runs out of the fire element, while a living body still has the fire element contained within it. So these are the four elements that is going on in the body right now. You have the four elements in your body. And one day this four elements will separate. When the body stops breathing, the air element the wind element will then separate from the body. If you leave the body to rot, then the fluid will start to flow out of the body. On the heat, the fire element will disappear next to the air element. When the body dies, the body begins to become cold. And after that, the water element inside the body will flow out of the body, eventually leaving the body dry, leaving the solid part, which eventually will turn into earth. So this is how you contemplate the four elements, to see that there is no self in this body. It's just a composition of the four elements. So that you can dispel the delusion of a self in the body. You are not in the body, you are in the mind. You are the thought created by the mind to think that the body is you. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right, next, Kok Seng from Singapore.
Yeah. Good evening, Ajahn. May I continue to ask you about the Mangala Sutta, the last verse? Please
one at a time, if they contain many.
To them, fulfilling matters such as these, everywhere invincible.
Can you repeat it again?
Okay. to them, fulfilling matters such as this, everywhere invincible.
Which method are you referring to?
The last verse, 12, I think this one is to them fulfilling matters such as this. I think this refers to all those verses above the last line, the last verse.
Okay.
And
So,
everywhere invisible. Maybe Prajan can explain what is meant by everywhere invisible.
I mean, if you have this within yourself, then nothing can hurt you. No suffering can enter into your mind. That's what it means. No dukkha. You have reason about dukkha. If you can practice all these steps that the Buddha recommended.
But this invisible, does it refers like by Chinese those swordsmen invisible? That means is no knife or sword can hurt them. The
knife that can attack the mind is the dukkha, in the suffering. The mind is not a physical like the body. The body could be attacked by knives and things like that. But with the mind, it's an invisible being. So the only thing that can attack the mind is dukkha, suffering. Like anxiety, restlessness, agitation, worry, stress, and all these are considered to be knives and things that can hurt the mind.
Okay. So this invisible refers to the mental and not physically being invisible.
That's right. The body is still subjected to aging, sickness, and death. The body and all the arahants will have to die.
Oh, and so does it mean that, for example, if one goes to the forest to meditate, one will have no fear of meeting a tiger and being eaten by the tiger?
Yeah, so one has no fear of death, no fear of death, no fear of sickness, no fear of pain.
Okay, so when one goes to the forest and meditate and one has no fear of meeting a tiger, that means one is considered as invincible.
Yes, the mind is invincible. It's not being attacked by any suffering, any dukkha.
Okay.
But the body is not invincible. The body could be eaten by the tiger.
Okay. So the person who has reached that stage will have no fear, even if the body is eaten by tiger. So it would just be
because it has become enlightened. It knows the body and the mind are two separate beings. So the mind is not being eaten by the tiger, it's just the body.
Okay. The second part is in every way moving happily. These are the highest blessings.
That's right. Once you have reached that stage, then you have Nibbana Paramang Sukham, the supreme happiness of Nibbana. Okay.
Yeah, so Prajan, this is the last verse of the Mangala Sutta. So I'd like to ask Prajan, which sutta would you recommend for me to study into?
Well, this Mangala Sutta, study and practice all the steps that the Buddha recommended. You have to practice, not just study alone. Study it's the first step. And once you know what you have to do, then you have to start doing it.
Okay. So any other sutta would you recommend that I research into it?
Yes, the first sutta, the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta,
Okay.
then the Satipatthana Sutta.
Satipatthana Sutta. All right. Okay. I'll do so. Yeah, Prajan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Alvin Lee, next in Malaysia also.
Good evening, Tanajan. Tanajan, just another question from one of the sutta. It says in one of the sutta, it says, this is what Buddha said, Bhikkhus, I'll teach you the origination and the passing away of the four establishments of mindfulness. Listen to that. I just want to check with Tanajan that the last one that the Buddha mentioned is with the origination of attention, there is the origination of phenomena. With the cessation of attention, there is the passing away of phenomena. The attention is actually perception, Tanajan?
Attention is, I think, is mindfulness.
Oh, okay. So with the origination of attention, there is the origination of phenomena. Okay. It's not perception.
Whatever. I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. That's fine.
It doesn't matter, I think.
Yeah.
What you have to know is that everything is impermanent, everything is anatta. And if you attach to anything, you'll get dukkha. If you let go, then you have no dukkha.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thanks, Ranjan.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, go to Ken, Professor Kenneth from Switzerland.
Afternoon, Tanajan. I have no question at the moment, just finished the academic year, so feeling a bit relieved. More time to practice.
Life is stressful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit more stressful than I would want it to be, but the next 6 months I'm on sabbatical as well, so I plan to have a quieter time and practice more.
Yes, seek seclusion, spend time alone and develop mindfulness and samadhi or jhana. Be happy with jhana. Once you're happy, then you can then study the nature of things to let go of your attachment to them. Yeah. If your mind is not happy, it's difficult to let go because you rely on things to keep you happy. But once you have happiness from your meditation practice, then you can let go of your attachment to things and people which you rely on to keep you happy, because you have a replacement happiness from your meditation practice. And when you can let go, then you will have no dukkha, no worry, no anxiety concerning people or things. That's the goal. First, you have to have some form of happiness, your own happiness within yourself. Once you have happiness within yourself, then you don't need external things to make you happy. So you can let go of them because you can see with wisdom that everything that you rely on to make you happy one day will have to go away or change. When they go away or change, then if you still rely on them, you can get dukkha. You can get suffering. But if you no longer rely on them, then it doesn't matter whether they stay or go, whether they change or they don't change, because you don't need them anymore. You have something better inside yourself. That's the peace that you get from your meditation, peace and happiness. So you have to try to build up this peace and happiness first before you can go and study the nature of things that you're still attached to, in order for you to be able to let go of them. Right now, you know things that you rely on are not reliable. Right? One day they can break down, or something can happen to them, but you still need them because you don't have anything to keep you happy. You need them to keep you happy. So you have to have something else to keep you happy. Then you can then let go of these things. That is impermanent. That will change. That will eventually break down. So being alone is the best time to develop mindfulness, because the goal is to stop your thought, to stop thinking. If you have to deal with people or work, you have to think. Yeah. But if you don't have to deal with people or work, then you can stop thinking. And then when you can stop thinking, then when you meditate, your mind can become calm very easily and quickly. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn, for your guidance. Thank you.
You're welcome. Go to Penang, Malaysia. With Geg.
Ajahn, good evening. Yeah, nice to meet Ajahn again. So far, no question, Ajahn.
Okay, we'll go to Bangkok then, to Lillian. Haven't seen you for a while.
Yes. Good evening, Ajahn. I haven't been in for quite a while. Trying to get back to the practice, and I think wanted to ask something about happiness, but you already explained it to Professor Kenneth. I think that was a really, really good one for me. That was exactly the advice that I want to hear. I will keep on continuing with the practice as much as possible.
Yes. The goal of our practice is to develop happiness within ourselves, within our mind. Once you have happiness inside yourself, then you don't have to rely on other things to keep you happy. So practice a lot of mindfulness and meditation.
Okay.
And then once you have this, then you can go to the next level to teach your mind to see that everything is not reliable for your happiness, because they are impermanent and they are not under your control, anatta. So when they change or when they break down, if you still rely on them, they can cause you dukkha or sadness.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you're doing well, okay? Still living in Thailand, in Bangkok?
Yes, but very busy with the kids, but now they're having holidays, so I have some time off.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Yep. Thank you, Ajahn.
Go to Penang again. Christine, go ahead.
Good evening, Ajahn. I have no question. I hope that you are well. Thank you.
Okay. If I'm not well, I won't be here, right?
Yeah, because I saw your Sunday. You are sitting on the golf car. Go to Pintabada. Yeah. Hope that you are better and better. Although you are aging, but I still hope that you are better.
Okay, thank you. Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. No questions. Just happy to be listening in. Thank you.
Okay, Philip from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Well wishes from Malaysia. I have no question tonight. Happy to be listening.
Okay, we'll go to Peru, Lima, Syria.
Hello, Ajahn. My question is about how to prepare for separation from loved ones. So I have been taking care of my mother for around 7 years, the last 7 years, and we have become very attached. So by now I do the 5 subjects for frequent recollection almost every day. When I see her, I try to imagine her internal organs, her bones, to remember that her body as mine is going to die. And I guess that if she dies before I do, I just have to deal with whatever state of mind comes at that moment, no? So my question is if this is okay, or are there other ways of preparing for separation from loved ones?
Well, it's just like playing on stage. Before you can act your real play, you have to practice first, right? You have to imagine your mother die as a corpse, lying still, and go through the process of the funeral and everything. Just imagine this scenario, things that will eventually happen. Should you live, you should outlast her. But if you should go before that, then you won't have to worry about a funeral and so forth.
Yes.
But it's just like going through the scenario, things that will happen, and try to do it a lot and at the same time look at how your mind reacts to this imagination, whether you can remain calm and accepting it or not. If you cannot, then you maybe because your mind is not calm enough, not having enough equanimity, then you have to do more mindfulness and meditation to bring your mind down to the level where it can accept this reality. Is this clear now? Is this clear?
Yes.
Now?
Yes. Can I ask a second question, please?
Sure. You can ask any question you want.
Okay, thank you. My mother has been recently diagnosed with cancer. And when I got the diagnosis, I told her what she had. And some people told me that I shouldn't have told her because that would have made her very nervous and that would have impact negatively on her health, no? So that it was very selfish, not lying, and not telling her what she had, and not having more compassion for her, no? So my question is, I have to take these decisions, not all the time, but regularly. So how to make more skillful decisions and balance these things when you have, on one side, you have your precepts, like I'm on 5 precepts. On the other one, you have your compassion because you, of course, want the person to suffer the least possible. But on the other hand, you also have uncertainty, because you really don't know how the person is going to react. I guess it depends on each person's karma, and I don't know the karma of my mother. Sometimes she reacts in ways that, despite that we have been living for long, I wouldn't have expected. No? So how to balance these things when making a decision? No?
Well, you first have to consider whether she wants to hear the truth or not. Or whether you have to tell her the truth or not. If there's no reason for you to tell her anything, then you don't have to tell her anything. But if she wants to know and ask you, then you just tell her the truth. That's all. What can you do?
Yes. That's the thing. That's what people were telling me. You should have just lied. Now, even, of course, she was going to tell me what was the results because it was exams that she had and actually biopsy. So it was obvious that there was something that was not going well. But it's that thing, no? That compassion. Like when I asked her at the end,
this has nothing to do with compassion. It's a matter of telling the truth or lying.
Yes.
And whether the person wants to listen to it or not, that's all. So you have to consider this thing. Whether she wants to listen to the truth or she wants to listen to the falsehood,
But when I have her diagnosis already, I don't know if she wants to listen to.
Then
I have to imagine.
Anything. You have to wait until she asks, what's wrong with me? What did the doctor say? If she doesn't
and then
want
I have to
know,
tell the truth.
That's right.
She will always want to know. Okay, so it doesn't have to do with compassion then?
Nothing to do with compassion. It's a matter of telling the truth or not telling the truth. Telling somebody whether they want to listen to or not.
Okay. Regardless if that would make them unhappy. And that would
You don't know. You might make them, it might release them. The truth can set you free. Have you ever heard that before?
Yes.
Maybe she accept the truth. She accept the truth and she would have no suffering because she then will have to prepare her mind for this eventuality.
Yes. Yes. I told her because of that. I thought that I would also like to know if I have cancer or any death-threatening disease to prepare. No? So yeah. Okay.
You have
That's
to
very
see
helpful.
whether she wants to know or not. If she doesn't ask you anything, then you don't have to say anything. If she says, "What's wrong with me? What did the doctor say?" Just tell her what the doctor told you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Ajahn.
Okay, you're welcome. Go to Sao Paulo in Brazil. Hi, Alfredo.
Hi, Bante.
Still be calm, still calm, still let go.
Yes, I feel a little alone, but
lonely.
it's good.
You feel lonely.
Yes.
You live alone? You live alone?
Yes.
Okay. In order not to be lonely, you have to meditate.
Yes.
When your mind becomes calm and happy, then you don't feel lonely. If you're lonely,
Yes.
then it means you're not meditating, right?
Yes. It's good.
It's good to be lonely, or it's good to meditate?
No, it's good to have Dhamma, né, Bante? To have a perspective of enlightenment.
Yes.
It's my goal.
Yes.
I work for this, né, Bante?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know is apego for jhana is. I think no. I think the knowing is a perspective, né, Bante? It's a perspective of life. Anatta, sunyata on the things, né, Bante?
Mm-hmm.
The world is different for Dhamma, né, Bante? The world is not claimed, né, Bante? I think it's different.
It's different. Yeah, it's different. It depends on your interpretation of the words.
Yes.
But if you practice, then when you see the real thing, then you don't need any interpretation.
Yes, sunyata.
Yeah, emptiness.
Yes.
That's what you get when you enter into jhana, really.
Yes. The thing is like clump. Is like on the things the things together. If our mind, né, Bante? Our mind thinking a lot,
yes.
né?
Yes.
We have
when you stop thinking, then you have sunyata. When you start to think, then you create all sorts of concepts.
Yes. Yes, it's my goal.
Okay, good. All right.
All right.
Is that all? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'll go to Jordan Leach. Where are you from, sir? You have to unmute your microphone. Okay, you can speak now.
John.
Hi, where are you from?
From Canada. I'm back home now after.
You were here a few days. You were here about a month.
That's right.
From having long hair and beard, you are now shaved.
So I'm here with my father, Trevor.
I see.
How do you do?
How are you? Good to see you. Welcome to our meeting.
My pleasure. I'm so excited to see you and to hear directly from you.
Is there anything I can do for you?
I'm just, this is the first time I've tuned in, so I'm just figured out how to do that, and I'm happy to be, I want to tune in weekly to these meetings. I'm just trying to keep up my my practice and keep up the 8 precepts and do things to support my goal of ordaining as soon as possible. So
can you do it? Can you do it like when you were here? Can you do it now, like when you were here?
Actually, I think I have been keeping up the momentum so far, but I'm working full time.
Yeah. You're working now, working or practicing. You will be working.
I'm looking for a job now, but so far I've been able to keep up some of the same routine as I did at the monastery.
Okay, good. Hope you find your job and continue on with your practice.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, nice meeting you, your father. Okay, I will go to Levan. Levan, where are you from?
Hi, Ajahn. I'm from California.
Which part of California?
Mill Valley in Marin County.
Marin County, North San Francisco.
North San Francisco, yeah.
Okay.
It's my first time here, but I've been listening to your talks on YouTube a lot.
Okay. You have any question you would like to ask?
I think mainly like at the moment I'm kind of overcome by intense fear, like an emotion of fear, because I'm waiting for some health result to come back and it doesn't look very good. So I try to be mindful, but it's still lingering in the background of my mind that what can happen if the result come back is not good.
I think part of the reason is because you're not following the Buddha's instruction, in which he tells Buddhists to remind themselves every day that once being born, they are subjected to aging, sickness, and death. If you keep reflecting on this truth, your mind will gradually absorb this truth and be ready for the thing when it happens. But if you haven't thought about it, then when you have to come face to face with this truth, you will feel very apprehensive. You don't know what to do. But if you keep reminding yourself every day, then you'll train your mind to learn to accept this truth. And when this thing happens, it will not affect you as much. So what you should be telling yourself is this is just normal. To be old, to be sick, and to die, this is normal. This is abnormal not to be old, not to be sick, and not to die.
Mm-hmm. I think part of me because I'm overwhelmed because it just feels like I have a lot of things to organize to make sure my family is all right. And that part is really kind of overwhelmed me more than thinking about how am I dealing with myself.
But you have to think that there are other forces working against you also, that you might not be able to achieve what you want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
There's a law of nature. Things can happen that can interfere with your plan. You haven't put that in as part of your work. You forget to factor this uncertainty in your plan. You should factor everything is not certain. Everything can change, can disrupt, can destroy your plan. If you can think like this, then you won't be you won't worry too much. But if you plan that everything's gonna be perfect, gonna go according to what you want it to be, then this can be harmful when things start to fall apart, not going according to plan. Like you are getting sick right now. So don't plan too seriously. Be flexible as far as the future is concerned, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. The sun might not rise up tomorrow. Who knows? Or it might rise later, 24 hours later, and we have a long night to wait for the sun to rise. Anything can happen, the earth motion can suddenly slow down. Who knows? The rotation of the earth. I'm just speaking, just to give you some example. The Buddha said everything is not certain. Everything is anicca, impermanent. And everything is anatta, not under our control. So we have to factor this thing into our planning, into our life. Okay.
Thank you,
and
Ajahn.
also meditate, because meditate can help to make your mind easily accept this truth. If your mind is not calm, your defilement will keep refusing to accept this truth. And when you don't accept this truth, it can cause you anxiety, cause you stress.
And if it's very hard to do sitting meditation, I can do walking meditation to let the energy out.
Yes, you might have to walk first if you cannot meditate sitting down. But the result from sitting is much better than walking. You get more calm, more peace than walking. But you can do walking and help reduce some of your agitation and restlessness. But eventually you have to sit down if you want to make your mind to become perfectly still. Because before the mind can become still, your body has to be still first.
I see.
If your body keep moving, then it means your mind is the one that is working on this movement, pushing the body to move around. So it cannot become still by itself. So it has to stop the body first. Sit down and be still, physically still. And then use mindfulness to make the mind to become still.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. We'll go to Julia from Colorado.
Hello, Ajahn.
How are you?
I'm well, and I wish that I could share some of the wellness with Ajahn. I'm hoping that Ajahn has a long, healthy, happy life, and sitting here just feeling so grateful to have access to such a good teacher in such a personal way, and freely offered, and so lucky.
I enjoy my conversation with you all, so.
That's wonderful.
To share the Dhamma is the greatest blessing, is the greatest gift of all.
Oh,
and it's not easy to find people who want to have Dhamma. Most people don't want Dhamma, they want money. They want so this is rare to have many people coming in here and listening and talking about Dhamma.
I think the happiness is mutual. Yeah.
Do you have any question tonight? Not today for you?
I think I can only think of very small things, and so maybe it's better just to listen and learn from the other questions and answers, please.
Okay. Maybe later, if you have any question, we can You can ask later. Okay, next, Belinda from Singapore.
Ajahn, happy to see Julia. It's been a while. Thank you for the community to be with us every week. I have many thoughts in the mind, but I feel I do not want to share or let it thinking too much. Let it sink first.
Yeah, you should stop them. Don't let them run amok in your mind. Yeah. Put them in cages. They're the one that cause you all the stress and anxiety, worrying. Use mindfulness, mantra, Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. Okay?
Okay, Ajahn.
All right. Go to Indonesia. Really?
Good evening, Ajahn. Today I would like to ask about the Sotapanna. In Sangha-Nusati, it is said that the noble disciples comes in pair, Magga and Phala. So I would like to ask, when does someone become a Sotapanna Magga?
When you start to investigate the five khandha, you see that it's anicca, dukkha, anatta. But before you can do that, you first have to pass the jhana level first. You have to have equanimity. You have to have samadhi. You have to have perfect sila. And then you can start developing wisdom. The wisdom that you need for Sotapanna is to see the five khandha as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. See that your body is not yourself. See that the feeling, especially the painful feeling, is not something you can control. So you have to see that you cannot control your body, you cannot control your feelings. They are natural phenomena. They are subjected to rising and ceasing. Your body will one day have to become old, become sick and die. And you have to see it and let go of your attachment. When you have no attachment toward your body or your feeling, then you will have no dukkha, no suffering. This is the magga that you have to do. The magga is the path or the work you need to do before you can get the result. Once you get rid of your attachment and you no longer have any suffering toward your body and your pain and your feelings, your painful feelings of the body, then you become a Sotapanna. You have the fruit of your effort. Your effort is the path. Okay.
Okay, very clear. Thank you.
Have you let go of your body yet?
Not yet, Ajahn.
Why not? Don't you want to be a Sotapanna?
I want to, and I'm trying to let go of the body, but sometimes it works. Sometimes it's like, although I have reminded myself for so many times, but again, when the pain comes and still suffer, Ajahn. So
your wisdom just ran away.
Yeah. Yes. It's like already so many times keep reminding myself, but yet still.
Yeah. When you meet the real thing, you forget what you have learned.
Yeah, that's right.
But you have to contemplate it.
Yeah.
They all run away somewhere.
Yeah, sometimes it works, but a lot of times it's like gone away again. Okay.
So you have to keep reminding yourself until they don't run away from you. When you see the real thing, when you meet the real thing, then you just say, okay, it's not me, it's gonna die, it's gonna get old, it's gonna get sick. I cannot do anything about it except stay calm and let it be.
And maybe because I haven't passed the jhana level yet.
You have no equanimity at all.
Yeah. Still working a lot on it.
Yeah. You have to practice a lot of meditation, a lot of mindfulness. Don't worry about wisdom now. It's the next step after you have jhana and mindfulness. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to Malaysia, Kafai Ling.
Good day to you, Ajahn. I have no questions for today.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll go to New Zealand, Anura and Ramya.
Yeah. Good evening, Ajahn. I have no questions, but thank you very much for your teachings and grateful for your timing and all the Dhamma. Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome.
Have a question? Have you got a question to me? This one.
Your answers to others are very useful. I was listening. I also still get anxiety because of, I think, the defilements. Some days don't get good night's sleep. I mean, even though I contemplate about everything is dukkha, I go through dukkha. It's the same with others. But I do meditate as well. But still I have anxiety, I think, sometimes. I have to work through it.
Yes, you have to teach your mind to let go of your attachment to everything. Since everything is dukkha, everything is like fire. So don't touch fire. When you touch fire, you get burned, right?
Yeah.
So don't be attached to your husband.
Not only the husband, I think the family members, friends, when they go through some difficult times, then I also get disturbed, my mind get disturbed.
Yeah, you have to learn to be able to live by yourself, to be alone without your husband, and happy and remain happy. So when the day he passes away, you will not feel sad.
Yeah, it is true. We both have to work out on that.
If you have Dhamma, you don't want to have anything because you can see everything. They are like burden to you.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I have to use Dhamma to help others. That's what I think.
Yeah, first you have to help yourself first.
Yeah.
Help yourself. Once you can help yourself, then you teach other people to help themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, we'll go back to Toronto, to Indira Paula. Where is Pia? Oh, here he is. Hi, doctor. You have to.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ajahn from Toronto.
Okay.
Ajahn. Yes, I have a question. Lately, I've been a little, how can I say, maybe sad or stressed, I don't know, because I have my mom's going to be 92 this July on the 12th, and things have been a little demanding and stressful, kind of, because she's getting older. And so my time, like generally I have had, I somehow find time for myself, and I've been practicing, and I no matter what went through, like I had my inner happiness kind of, but I kind of feel it's depleting and I'm getting exhausted because, and I'm not doing my practice the way I want to. So it's been a bit of a struggle. So I just wanted to ask you how I should manage during this time.
Well, if you can practice more, that's one way of to deal with the situation. If you can find more time to practice.
Yeah.
Because the lack of your practice is causing you to lose the inner peace or the inner happiness you have.
Yes, Ajahn, and I know it. And then that makes me, when I can't find the time, like I get frustrated. Yes, at the last 2 weeks I've been going through this, and it's getting a little better. But I just thought I'll ask you. But I guess I have to somehow find time to practice.
That's right. You have to do it. It's like taking medicine. If you don't take medicine, then your fever don't go away. It actually can increase.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have to keep taking the medicine. You have a doctor beside you.
She's a doctor too.
Yeah. This is a Dhamma medicine that you need to take.
The best medicine.
Yeah. Dhamma medicine.
Yeah. That I know 100%, and that's what makes me happy and keeps me going. But it's been kind of like, but I think I'm getting better. The last 2 days I've started practicing more, and he's been helping me a lot.
Yeah,
so.
I think we have the medicine in the bottles in the cupboard, but we don't drink it. That's the problem.
That's right. Besides meditation, you also need wisdom, anatta. You should keep reminding yourself that everything around you is anatta.
Yes.
You cannot really control them or look after them the way you want it to be. So you just try your best and just
Yes, Ajahn. I think that's the thing. I have kind of
it's out of control to begin with.
Yes. So I have Thank you so
Maybe
much.
we are trying hard to control too much. Maybe
that's right, trying too hard, trying to do more than what you can do. Then you become frustrated.
Yeah,
I think so. Yes. Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you so much for your wisdom, sharing your wisdom with us. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. What about you, PL?
Interesting experience. I was biting into my own body parts. I was eating some nuts. And I was said, who put some stones in this nut in the nuts? But I was eating my own tooth. Actually, the tooth broke, and I was biting on it and chewing it like it's like a stone. Then suddenly I realized, oops, there's a gap. So anyway, I just got it filled this morning. I was trying to meditate while they're putting the needles, injections. I don't know whether it went well or not. It's hard to describe, but I found the time went short, was quick. Then I was wondering whether I was breathing one point. Now I was breathing. So I was checking. I was worried that they might think I'm dead or something. But anyway, it went well. So my tooth is now all done. It's a bit numb in this area. I want to fit in before I start my patients. Luckily, it's down the hall. So it was a good experience in a way, trying to meditate, like test myself. It was hard though, with all the tools going in, drilling, the noise, but still at the background, but it was tough. I was testing myself.
Yeah, just stay calm and not reacting. Just be merely knowing what's going on.
Yeah, luckily the freezing worked.
Yeah, at the time of death, it would be the same. There's so much going on, but if you have practiced well.
Around you.
Yeah. You just look after your mind. The body, leave it to the doctor and the nurses.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, just let it go. Just if you die, I die. The shot. Who cares?
Yes, I actually have one more question, Ajahn. Now, if you practice, like if you're a Dhamma follower or a faith follower, and you are on, let's say a person is on the path to Soan Marga, at the time of death, do they become Sotapanna?
You need wisdom to become a Sotapanna. You have to see that the body is a natural phenomenon.
Yes.
It's not you. You are not the body. So you can then happily let go of the body.
Okay.
Is there the point where at the time of death is that the wisdom just expands so much, because you're letting go of the body, the mind becomes so peaceful and open up the space for the insight to develop? Like at the time of death, why is it so special? The time of death.
Well, the time of death is the time in which people have to face reality.
Yes.
So if they can accept reality, then the mind will become peaceful because they accept and let go of these cravings or their desire to keep whatever they used to have. When they see that they can no longer keep it and just accept it, then the mind can become calm and peaceful. But if they still cling to it and want to prevent or stop it from going away, then they will have a lot of stress, no peace.
Yeah. So it's so important to have practiced right along, so that at time of death again.
This is not something it happens without any training,
Yeah. There is no warning. It just comes.
Yes.
You can, like being a doctor, you need time to train to be a doctor, right?
Yeah.
You don't suddenly become a doctor simply because they put you in a hospital.
No, right.
That's true.
So we had to train to die.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before dying.
Before dying.
That's true.
Yeah. And if you don't die, it's a bonus.
Yes. And also, I feel like if you keep doing every day what you do, even at the time of death, it's almost like it naturally comes to you. But somebody who's been doing everything against precepts and not even practicing Dhamma, it's very hard at time of death all of a sudden to do that.
Yeah.
So.
You can force your thoughts,
Yes, you cannot. If you haven't trained yourself before, you won't be able to do it. It's like a boxer. If you haven't trained to box, and when you go up to the ring, you don't know how to box. You get boxed. You get beaten.
That's true.
I mean, it's like after work, you go home every day. You don't need the GPS anymore. You just go. You can drive. I'm not with eyes closed, but eyes open. But you can still drive without an issue, right? Thinking about anything. So it's just like going home one more time.
That's right.
But there is with practice is the meditation over time. You don't have to go through all the process anymore. It's kind of short circuit. They quickly go into like a peaceful states very fast. Yeah, sometimes I wonder whether this is something wrong I'm doing, or sometimes maybe I had to go through the steps. It's not necessary, right? With time, it gets shorter and shorter.
Right. Once you have mindfulness, you don't need to go through all the steps. You just tell your mind to stop, and it will stop right away, and then you don't need to go through the steps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes you double guess, like doubt yourself whether is it the right thing, whether it's too much, too fast, something like that.
Yeah. If you can tell your mind to stop thinking and it stops, then you don't need to do anything. But if you tell it and still keeps thinking, then you might have to use the mantra, or you might have to use the breath to get it to stop thinking.
Yeah.
Is the body also put some effort? Like, can you push yourself? Like it's called, I think, gladdening the mind. There's this thing called, you can, you're not doing anything. I guess you're letting go. But at the same time, is there a way you can push a bit further by your previous memory or whatever? This is, if you do this is going to be more blissful. Like something like tuning. It's hard for me to explain. Is there a way you could gladden the mind? Intention? Can the intention play a role there?
Intention, to gladden your mind.
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
To use intention to make you happy?
Yeah.
During meditation?
Yeah. At the initial part, at least.
Actually, when you meditate, you want to stop all mental activities. You don't want to use any mental activity at
Intention.
all.
Okay.
Spontaneously you go into it.
You want the mind to become still and just to become merely knowing, no thinking.
The shut down the doer, just have the knower.
Yeah, shut down the sankhara, the mental formation. Okay.
Thank you so much, Ajahn.
All right, now see who's next here on the screen. Okay, Dean from London.
Ajahn, before I start, I just want to say I appreciate interaction with you very deeply for the record. I want to update you with one thing and then two questions about my practice. One is I've changed my plans for the next about 2 months plus. Last Saturday, I went to a temple, the temple I mentioned before. I'm very lucky that 3 very elder Thai monks is at Wat Yannasangwararam at near Gatwick Airport. So Long Po Tong Yin, Long Po Somai, who actually knows you, and Long Po Mana. And they talk to me a lot, and they, to see them smile and talk, and it's really, I can't express. And so I request that can I stay there to practice with them, because they are meditative monks, until Long Po Tong Yin will go back Thailand end of July, and they give me permission. So tomorrow I will go to stay there and practice with them. So this is a change of plan. So I won't be going to Switzerland to the Dhamma Pala monastery. So I'll be practicing with these meditative monks.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, you can practice, it's okay, I guess.
Yes, I know. So that leads to the second question, which connects to this. I've always wanted to ordain, and I'm still having this plan. Well, I did talk to the abbot, Long Po Nikom, and to cut the story short, after listening to me for a long time, he said that I have the practice inside me, and I can practice at home on my own. I have quite a full set of I know how to practice. And my response to him was that the first thing that comes to mind is that I know that Buddha impressed upon me that he would choose Kalyana Mita, right? And when I reflect on that, Buddha clearly mentioned to me or impressed upon me Kalyana Mita, the importance of that. At the beginning and during and the end of the path is important. But I never felt any pressure from Buddha's teaching. And I can so choose to practice on my own. So I say this to Abbot, and he kept quiet and just. So I want to ask Ajahn advice. I want to listen and obey and take on board what the Abbot very kindly advised me. But in my heart, I also know that Buddha's teaching is asking me to value being with the noble monks and practice together. So in a way, the temple welcomes me if I want to ordain. I want to ask Ajahn point of view on this, and if you have any suggestion for me to look at this.
Well, it depends on yourself. whether you can do it on your own or not. If you can do it on your own, then you don't need anybody to guide you. But if you cannot, you need some guidance, then it's good to have a more advanced practitioner to guide you with. But sometimes you want to be alone to practice because you want to be able to rely on yourself. Attahi atanonato. That's the goal eventually, to be able to be self-reliant completely. But if you cannot get to that point yet, and you might need someone to help you, then you would have to seek the advice from some good teacher. So it depends on whether you need a good teacher now or not. Because if you still have to do the practice, even if you stay close to a teacher, you probably don't get any guidance from him anyway, because what you need more is the practice itself. Yes. But when you come to a point where you get stuck and you don't know what to do next, then there you might need a teacher, someone who have more experience, especially an enlightened teacher. And he can tell you what you should be doing next on your practice. But it doesn't mean you have to be with a teacher or a Kalyana all the time. Sometimes you have to be alone. You have to seek seclusion and practice. Only when you need instruction or guidance, then you go seek for a teacher or someone who can answer your questions or tell you what you should be doing next. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Ajahn. There's a few things I've noted. Yes. Can I ask one more question about the practice? It's to do with samadhi. They asked me to investigate that deeply. And I'll simplify the question. In samadhi practice, strengthening it, there is I can move between two directions in it when it's strong. I can remain extensively in one-pointedness, stillness, quiet, just observe. And I've tested. Sometimes it can last for an hour. And I watch. Or with that, sometimes I can observe the natural pacing of this, if I may call it a discursive thought. I can either move between this or that. There is no tendency to lean towards either. Which one in such a situation where, for example, if I sit for 3 hours, what is a better use of that 3 hours? Whether to remain in the quiet space extensively to strengthen that, or to let it naturally move towards contemplating on certain things, or both?
No, when you meditate, you want to keep the mind still. So you don't want it to move around. Keep it still for as long as possible. If you want to do contemplation, you can wait until you finish with your meditation. Then you can contemplate all the time that you want. But when you meditate, you want to still your mind. You want to strengthen your equanimity.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do any contemplation, because when you do contemplation, you'll start to lose your stillness and your equanimity. So you have to know the purpose of meditation is to develop equanimity and calm and peace of mind. And as far as contemplation, you have to wait until you come out of your meditation. And you can contemplate on anything you want. Anicca, dukkha, anatta, your body, your feelings, or your mind, whatever you want. whatever you are still attached to, you want to study and try to let go of your attachment. This you need to do contemplation or study the nature of the things that you become attached to. Then they can cause you dukkha. So it's two different practices.
Yes, I know, yes.
When you meditate, you don't want to do contemplation.
Yes, I'm aware. Ajahn, just to clarify, right? It's two different practice, I know. But if I were to be sitting with my eyes closed and I practice samadhi practice, and without opening my eyes and sitting still, inside me, I know that I'm practicing that. And in that moment, or I decide, okay, I finished samatha practice and I want to switch to contemplation, but my body is sitting still and my eyes is closed to someone else. I'm still sitting there meditating, but internally I switch from samatha to contemplation. Would that be okay?
Yes, you can do contemplation while you meditate, but you won't gain any equanimity.
Yes, it's different.
It's like charging your phone. You can charge your phone whether you turn it on or turn it off. If you turn it on, if you turn it off, you'll be able to retain all the power that you charge into the battery. But when you turn the phone on, you'll start losing the power that you charge into your battery already.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you want. You want to charge energy for your mind, then you don't want to do any work during that time.
Mm.
But if you want to do the work of contemplation, then you will have to accept that you won't get fully charged.
Yes. I get it. So sometime I will sit for 4 hours, aiming for 5, just doing samatha, strengthening the equanimity.
Yes, or sometimes you want to sit and contemplate, you can also do that also. Yes. If you think you have enough equanimity to apply your wisdom. You need equanimity and wisdom to be able to get rid of your defilement.
Yeah. I will have to see case to case every time I practice. I will keep close watch. Yeah.
If you see anicca, dukkha, anatta, but you still attached to it, then it means you don't have enough equanimity to let go. Now you see the body as anicca, right? We all know the body is gonna get old, get sick, and die, but we still cannot let go of this. We still cling to the body. It means you don't have enough equanimity.
Yes, Ajahn. I know the samatha practice. I need to do a lot more. I will do that.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Next up, Aparajita from Dubai.
Hello, good evening, Ajahn. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yes, I have been meditating. I feel good in terms of, there's no good. I know there's a lot to practice, but I'm putting in the effort, is all I can say. And I have one question. I know it is often said that it's very good to give, often to relatives, but sometimes I just had this in-between space where I felt like sometimes supporting some people might not help them because they just get used to the support. So from my point of view, should I continue to support and not think about that, or should I not support?
I think you should support those who need the support. Those who doesn't need the support, then you shouldn't give to support them. You can spoil them.
Yes, so that's what I wanted to. Yeah. Okay.
But if they really need your help, then you have to help them. But if they can live on their own, then you don't really need to give them any support. But you can still give them things on their birthday or on New Year's Day or something like that for friendship, for good, for good relationship.
Right. Yes. No, I'm always happy to give. It's just yes. Okay. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
Yeah. You don't want to make people to rely on you and not relying on themselves.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is not.
The Buddha said you have to rely on yourself, not other people. You can only rely or need other people help when you cannot help yourself.
That's true. Okay, that's good then. Thank you.
Next, Sulan from Singapore. You are in a bus or on a subway?
Oh. Yeah, I'm on the train.
On the train.
So, yeah, happy to hear from you, Ajahn. Yeah, yeah.
Where is this train going? Inside Singapore city limit or going somewhere?
Oh, yeah, it's in Singapore. I'm going home. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So you travel by public transport?
Yeah. So in Singapore, we normally travel by public transport. It's quite well connected.
Good. And you all have to put on your mask when you're in the train? You have to put on your face mask?
To us, so we want to put. But I see that the train is very crowded now, so I'm wearing a mask.
I see. It's not mandatory.
Yeah, it's not mandatory. Unless we are in the hospital or like in the clinic.
Yeah. You have any question tonight?
Yeah, I have a question. I wanted to ask, what does the Buddha meant when he mentioned heedlessness?
Heedlessness is not being mindful or doing things without any really being reckless. Heedlessness means being reckless. Do things recklessly. We should do things mindfully. Okay.
Doing things recklessly, that's heedless.
Yeah, without having mindfulness. Just do whatever you feel like doing. Whatever you do, you should be always mindful and know what you are doing. Whether it's gonna hurt someone or not. This is being mindful. Being heedless means you don't care what happens to other people or to yourself. Do whatever you feel like doing. Like if you want to drink, you drink. You want to, you want to overeat, you overeat. This being heedless. If you're being mindful, then you have to consider whether you should eat or not, or how much you should eat.
How much you should eat. Yes. Yeah, I think I was a bit heedless recently because there was one time I think in my mind I was feeling very overwhelmed, very cluttered, and like having to settle a lot of things during the day, running here and there. So then at one point I think I snapped at my mom because when I was like trying to travel here, I try to juggle this and that. Then she kept nagging at me, like asking some question, and then I couldn't stop myself in time. I kind of like asked her to don't nag at me. Yeah. So although afterwards I got apologized, then I felt bad about it. And then when I thought about it, I think actually I snapped at her is because it's not that I want her to keep quiet, but it's that my mind is too busy, and I think my mind wanted quiet and tried to silence my surroundings. So I feel very heedless of myself. Yeah.
All right. Does this answer your question?
Yeah, it answers. So yeah, I will learn to be more mindful.
Okay. Think before you do or say things to other people. Whether you're gonna hurt them or not.
Yeah.
If you're gonna hurt them, it's better to keep quiet, but not do anything.
Yes. Yes. I should do that. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Go to Julia.
Sadhu.
Julia from Sweden just came in.
Yes, hi, Ajahn. I just came in. I don't have a question at the moment, please.
Okay. I think then we'll go to Facebook now, and the question from the email is sent to our assistant.
Yes, there are 4 questions from Gmail and 2 questions from Facebook. The first question from Hassan from Indonesia. I am a chef and working in a restaurant. As a chef, I cannot avoid killing life because I'm the one who ordered for the material, like chicken, fish, and others. I have tried my best to find another job, but still the opportunity that comes to me, only this job, and I have to take it because I have family to take care. So Ajahn, what must I do? Because it seems no other way out from this. Thank you.
Well, if you have to do it, then you have to accept the consequence of your action. That's all. Okay, that's my answer. If you cannot stop, then if you continue to do the bad karma, then you one day will have to reap the fruit of your bad karma.
Next questions from Sam from Toronto. In my lifetime, I have lived with 3 family members dealing with addiction issues. First, when I was a kid, my brother has addiction issue to drugs, and I remember witnessing my parents hurt and suffering because of him. Later in life, my husband was an alcoholic, and after years of trying to get help for him, I left him due to safety concern for our son. Now, years later, my teenage son has started using something called e-cigarette. He doesn't want to stop using it. He has also started lying to me a lot, so I have no trust in him. It is very difficult for me to go through this. I honor and keep my precepts. I try so hard to think of this as anicca, dukkha, anatta, but it hurting my feelings. Is this a consequence from a bad karma from a past life? I keep thinking, why me? Please advise me, how can I overcome this? Thank you.
Well, first of all, you should not worry about what causes this thing, whether it was your past karma or not. What you want to do is how to deal with the situation. And the reason why you are hurting yourself is because you cannot accept the situation that you are in. So this is the one that is causing you to have bad feelings, hurting you. But if you can somehow accept this situation, that this is something that you have to learn to live with, accept it. Try to accept the situation that you are in. Try not to, to reject or to, you have to learn to accept it, because there's nothing else you can do. You cannot make people to do what you want them to do. So if you cannot change them, then you have to accept them for what they are. If you can accept, then you will not feel hurt. But if you cannot accept, then you will have to feel hurt. That's all. It's in yourself, not in other people. What other people do or or are, you cannot change them. But if you cannot accept them, then you will be hurt. But if you can accept them for what they are, then you will not be hurt.
Next questions from Sam from Australia. My son is intellectually and physically disabled, so he cannot communicate and depends on us to take care of all of his physical needs. He also has epilepsy and has seizures every week. Recently, he was also diagnosed with end-stage kidney disease, meaning his kidney is no longer working. The doctor gave us 3 options. First, kidney transplant. Second, dialysis. Or third, no treatment, but just manage his symptoms so that he is not in too much pain until he passes away. Therefore, it is a way of letting him die without too much pain and suffering. My question is about option number 3, no treatment, but just manage his symptoms. The question is there any negative karma from taking this option? Thank you.
No, there's no negative karma, because this is not a bad karma. You just let things be naturally. So this is not considered to be killing. So it's not bad karma. Okay.
Next questions from Claudia from Germany. I experience more and more people in Buddhist community spread hatred and even death threat against other people. The situation in Germany get more and more alarming, and I experience that in Buddhist community, those hateful people are tolerated. I already left a Buddhist community because they accept those hateful people who spread also death threats. Do Buddhist community have to accept those hateful people? Thank you.
Well, it's not whether we have to accept them or not. We have to understand that people have different nature. Some people are hateful and some people are loving and kind. The purpose of Buddhist community or Buddhism is to teach people not to be hateful. So if they come to Buddhism, then they should be taught that to be hateful is not good for them, because it will only create dukkha or suffering, because hate is defilement that will cause dukkha or suffering. It's not a matter whether if they come, what can you do? As long as if they stay and they're not hurting or causing problem with other people, then it's okay. But if they do something that hurts other people, then they can be asked to leave. And if they behave normally, even though they might be hateful, maybe they need help. That's why they come in. So you should teach them not to be hateful. Okay.
Next question from Terry. Good evening,ท่านอาจารย์ I have a question on the contemplation of the 32 body parts. How should this be done to eradicate lust and sexual craving? Why I ask is because when I was a young boy, I had been sexually infringed by some neighbor's sons, and from a very young age, I will feel some kind of lust in me, but every time, even until now, I will feel sad after I have relieved myself. This is much a hindrance to me in my practice, and I wish to eradicate the root. May ท่านอาจารย์ be so kind and compassionate to give me some guidance to pull myself out of this mirage. Thank you, ท่านอาจารย์
Well, you have to constantly do as much asupa contemplation as possible. And just keep looking at the unpleasant parts of the body. So whenever you have sexual desire, you can use this to stop it.
And last questions from Karis. Dear Venerable Ajahn, I would like to ask, if one had experienced bipolar mental disorder in the past and has been treated well enough until no more medication needed in the past years, could he be able to practice meditation to achieve jhana state? Thank you.
Well, everyone, if anybody who can develop mindfulness will be able to achieve jhana state. So it's a matter of learning how to develop mindfulness first. If you can have constant mindfulness, and when you meditate, you can keep your mind, you can stop your mind from thinking, then you can have jhana eventually. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody would like to ask any more questions? You're welcome to raise your hand and unmute your microphone. We still have some time left. Okay, Jordan Leach. Jordan, your father.
Ajahn, I just forgot when I first was introducing myself, but I'm reading your autobiography, and I thought it was very, very interesting that we both have a similar beginning we share something in common, that I also was an ice cream store manager briefly in Montreal.
I see, that's good.
So I'm thinking there's still hope for me, and it was very reassuring to know that you came from such humble beginnings and have come so far.
Yes, everyone has a chance to become enlightened if they just put in the effort. That's all, the right effort, the effort to practice morality, the effort to practice mindfulness and meditation, and the effort to develop wisdom. That's all you need to do. Do these three things, really, 3 or 4 things. Keep the precepts, develop mindfulness and sit and meditate, and then teach your mind the wisdom of the Buddha. Once you have this, you can become enlightened sooner or later, eventually.
Well, thank you, Ajahn. I'm gonna.
Maybe this is the first step to enlightenment, to join our meeting, to learn about the teaching of the Buddha.
I look forward to many more meetings. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else would like to ask any question? Looks like we might have an early end tonight. Nobody? Anybody?
Okay, Julia.
Okay, Julia.
Yeah, so perhaps I have one question. So I find that in your teaching you emphasize a lot the 3 characteristics.
Yes.
Anicca, Anatta, Dukkha, but I've never heard you speak about the 4 noble truths.
Well, the 3 characteristics have dukkha, which is one of the 4 noble truths. They are intertwined, really. If you speak about 3 characteristics, you also speak about the 4 noble truths. See, the reason why you get dukkha in the 3 characteristics because you have craving for things that is anicca, that is anatta.
Okay. So that's how you see them as basically 2 sides of the same coin.
Same coin, same thing. It's the same dukkha in the 4 noble truths as it is in the 3 characteristics of existence. Like your body is anicca, it's anatta, but you have cravings for it to be permanent, to last forever. So when it doesn't last forever, you get dukkha. Dukkha is the result of your cravings for the body to not to die, not to get old, not to get sick. I think once you start studying this thing, you see that There are two sides of the same coin, like you say. Okay. Who else would like to ask?
Sulan.
Okay, Sulan.
Yeah, hello, Ajahn. Yeah, I wanted to ask, like, can monks use handkerchief?
Oh, yes. You can have Kleenex using anything.
Any handkerchief can be used?
What do you mean, any handkerchief?
Oh, as in, sorry, give me a moment. Let me get out the phone. I mean, like, is there any handkerchief that is that doesn't come part of the robe? Can monks use them?
Any part of the robe to use it as a handkerchief?
Yeah. Like if the handkerchief is not part of the robe offering, it's like offered separately.
Yes, you can offer. You can offer separately.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Celia.
Thank you.
Celia. You're next, Celia. Okay.
Yes. Hello, Tanjan. Again. Sometimes this is a question about meditation. Sometimes when I do the 5 recollections to calm the mind, I put examples in my mind, like I remember I'm not of the nature to get sick. I remember all the times that I've been sick in the past. I mean, more or less big times when I've been sick. Or if I reflect, I'm of the nature to die, then I reflect on the past, on my ancestors who have died, like my grandmother or my great-grandmother. Or I think in 130 years, I will be dead and everyone that I know will be dead also, no? So I feel that there's a lot of jumping between imagination and past and future. Is this okay? Because I understand that mindfulness is about being in the present, but I don't know if always thinking and imagining things from the past and from the future is okay at this point.
During what? During meditation?
No, I mean, first I reflect to calm the mind, no? So in this reflection, I do the 5 subjects from frequent recollection, a little bit of death contemplation, and then I go to mindfulness of breathing. So in mindfulness of breathing, I'm just recollecting the breathing in the moment. But before I do that, during the recollections, I imagine different things, no? Like if I'm going to die, as I said, the times, I mean, I try to reflect how would that be and try to reflect that my grandmother, my great-grandmother have died and it's inevitable that I die too, no? Or I see in the future, in 130 years, everyone that I know, everyone that I've spoken with today will also be dead. But I see a lot of imagination about the past and about the future in doing this. So I'm not sure if this is okay.
Well, it depends on whether you can use it to calm your mind or not. See? The purpose is to calm your mind so that you can then focus on your breathing.
Yes.
Because
so at this point,
sometimes you might have thoughts about other things like business, financial situations, or politics. Then you might find it difficult to focus on your breathing, on your breath. So you might want to use this contemplation of death to help bring your mind back to the present, back to the breath.
So it doesn't matter that.
Yes, yeah, it doesn't matter. Sometimes we call this wisdom develop samadhi. The contemplation of death is developing wisdom. You can use this to calm your mind.
Yeah. For me, it works really well. I mean, I think that's my way. Yes. Yeah. The other way is more difficult.
Sometimes when you want to meditate, you find it difficult because your mind been involved in so many things. And the only way to come back to the breath is to first think about that, like you do And when you do this, then you forget about everything else.
Yeah.
And then you can then focus on your breath. But once you're focusing on your breath, you should stop thinking. You should not contemplate anymore. Just keep watching, focus, until your mind becomes absorbed with the breath and becomes still. Okay.
It was just that. Thank you very much.
All right. Vivian, you want to ask a question?
Yes, Lala wants to ask a question.
Why was Buddha's aura so big?
Why Buddha so big?
Aura.
Oh, this is just the artist's imagination. Yeah. You don't see aura in real life. You know, this is something artists, when they paint picture of the Buddha, they paint aura around his body.
Ask louder.
So is it fake or real?
It's not real. You cannot see aura.
You cannot see. If you see the Buddha, there won't be anything there. It's just artistic.
But can someone like Ajahn Anand or you, can you see the aura?
No, aura is not something you can see.
Okay.
Any more questions? Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you.
Thank
Is
you,
that
Ajahn.
all?
Yes. He just came back and the first thing he wanted to do was to ask you the question.
Okay. Where did he see this aura? Is he see a picture or something?
Yes. I think he always see the picture with the round thing on the head.
Yeah, on the head. Yeah. Right. They have aura around the head of Jesus also. I think Jesus and all the divine beings, they usually have aura to indicate that they are divine as well.
Okay. I'll explain to him later.
Yeah. But the real aura is their spiritual purity, without defilements.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Anybody else? We have still some time left. But if not, we'll call this meeting to an end for today, okay? Thank you for your participation. I hope this meeting will benefit you and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time again next week. Thank you and goodbye.
กราบสาธุเจ้าค่ะ
Thank you, Ajahn.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye, admin. Bye, admin.
Bless you all. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bless you.